Hello everybody and welcome to the Yabraas Football League. I'm Bob.
And I'm Cooper.
And today is Combine Day, one of the biggest days of the season.
Today our athletes will be participating in a series of events that will test their skills and determine their seedings in the 2025-2026 football season.
I am so excited. These athletes have been training all offseason for a chance at glory and recognition for their work and dedication. I can't wait to see what these young men bring to the table.
You know what? I couldn't agree more, Bob. Today our players will be partaking in multiple events that will push themselves to the limit. Let's take a look at today's schedule. They will first be competing in the agility portion, which will start off with the 40-meter dash to test their speed, followed by the long jump. After that, they will be doing throwing drills, which consist of regular standstill accuracy, under pressure, and on the run. And finally, a power test to unveil the strength of these competitors. Last, these athletes will be tested in kicking both their punt strength and field goal accuracy. Boy, it looks like we've got a great day ahead of us.
We sure do, Cooper. So let's stop waiting around. Without further ado, this is the YFL 2025-2026 Combine Day.
This is not a drill, it's a real attack. For the squad and affiliates. I make it epic, come in the air. You're playing with me, I go really bad. All 19, promise they gon' need to hold me back. Yeah, they gon' have to hold me back. Hold me back, they gon' have to hold me back. Hold me back, really on guard. Really on guard, really on guard.
First up, we'll start off with the 40-meter dash.
Preparation has already begun for this intense test of speed. They've already begun their warm-up runs. What do you think is going through the minds of these players right now as they're about to begin today's combine?
You know, I think there's a lot of emotion running through these players' heads right now. They've got a lot to digest here. I mean, this is the future of their football career. A lot of these athletes have different goals in mind, whether that's to break a record or just to prove something to themselves. But at the end of the day, all these men have the same objective, and that's to show the world what they're made of.
It looks like right now we have Halen Hewitt, an athlete with a bright career ahead of him, getting ready to kick off this combine day.
Ooh, Cooper, looks like the blue glasses are coming off. This is a rare sighting. Will he even be able to see the finish line?
I don't know, but it looks like we'll find out right now. Whoa! Look at that. Going the penguin strat here. Waddling side to side, applying great weight distribution on both legs. But, oh my!
Ooh, a whopping 4.93 to start off. Very nice, impressive speed from this young boy.
Now we see Keegan Gross line up here, taking off his chain, also for good luck.
They don't ever come off, but I'm making an exception.
Well, Bob, let's see if this little good luck ritual works.
So close to Halen. Coming off with a 5.18, putting him in second place.
Now that is a dangerous spot to be in, as we have Logan Wenzel, who just ran a speedy 4.99. Incredible run for this cross-country athlete.
Speaking of cross-country athletes, next up we have Jamison McGraw, a wide receiver from last year, opening up at an astonishing 4.83 seconds, overtaking Halen for first place in this dash.
Finally, we have Joseph McGraw all lined up here. Looks like the start is a bit slow, but he finishes it off at a 5.18. Great first run from all these athletes here.
So as these athletes continue with their second round of runouts, we'd like to remind you to stick around because there's a lot of combine excitement ahead of us, like breakdowns of the day, interviews, and a deep dive into the stats, so make sure not to miss it.
That's right, the fun is just getting started. Personally, this day brings a lot of... Sorry, our camera just fell down.
Sorry, folks. Guess we're just going to have to switch to our handheld cameraman for now. Never mind.
Please hold.
And we're back. Sorry about that, but all the problems have been fixed. As we were away, the athletes have completed their second round of sprints, so now we'll be moving on to the third and final round.
First up, we've got Halen, and he's still sticking with the penguin strat again, and oh, a 5.25. Slowest run we've seen yet. Clearly, the penguin strat is not the way to go here.
Logan finishes with a time of 5.10, but sadly, we did look into it, and his fellow Weasels run approximately 6 to 4.5 seconds, so definitely not the fastest Weasel in the game, but still pretty decent. And now, Keegan finishes off with no improvement. Remember, only the athlete's best times are being taken and recorded.
Joseph now finishes his run with a 5.15. Only a tiny bit of improvement, but just enough to beat Keegan's best time of 5.18. And finally, we have Jameson McGraw, and he's off!
Looking good for now. And he ends with a YFL record of 5.59 seconds.
Wow.
That is a whole 3 milliseconds ahead of all the other competitors. And that places him on the top of the standings for the 40-meter dash. He is followed by Halen in second, Logan in third, Joseph in fourth, and finally Keegan in last place. But before we head off to the jumping grounds, let's go down to our cameraman who is asking one of our athletes, Logan Wenzel, how he thinks this first event went.
How do you think this first event is going?
Absolutely good. I did not expect people to run in 5.8, alright?
Yeah, we're pretty slow.
Thanks for that, Logan. Always good to hear from our competitors. Now to long jump, where our athletes are revving up to cover some serious ground.
Now we start off this event same as the last with the one and only Halen Hewitt.
Seems like he's getting coached up by Logan Wenzel on how to jump.
Well, seems like that coaching really paid off as he jumps 78 inches.
Now Logan charging up his full power, really using those arms to gain momentum. And whoa! A 95 inches! A phenomenal jump! That'll easily put him in first place for this event.
Wow, these players just continue to impress. Now up for long jump is Keegan Gross, looking a little unstable, but finds his balance and puts down a 84. Far surpassing Halen Hewitt.
Poor Halen, always wishing he could get a few more inches.
Now here's Joseph McGraw. Ooh, that's a tight one. Let's see what our official, Logan, has to say.
Oh, 80. Wait, what was that? Hold on.
80!
Wow, 80 inches. But none of these places are safe yet because Jameson McGraw still has to jump. And he jumps at 88, which is not the longest jump, but will still land him in a comfortable second place.
Alright, now for the next... Oh, wait, hold up. Looks like we have a mini dance party on the field. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wait, and who is that? Alright, now for the final jump of the afternoon, Halen Hewitt lines up for a potential record-breaking leap. Oh, here he goes. Concentration. Well, that concludes the agility portion of the combine, and it looks like we have Logan in first place for the long jump with a jump of 95 inches, followed by Jameson McGraw with an 88-inch jump, Keegan Gross in third, Joseph McGraw staying consistent in his fourth place spot, and Halen Hewitt standing in last place. Well, while our athletes transition to the throwing portion of today's combine, let's talk about these athletes.
For sure, Bob. I mean, just look at the leaderboard of these agility events. There are two dominant athletes that just steal the show when it comes down to it. Both Jameson McGraw and Logan Wenzel. Now, these two were the top wide receivers last year, and you can obviously see why. I want to highlight here how both competitors utterly dominated one of these two events. Jameson in the speed category, running 3 whole milliseconds faster than all other competitors. And Logan Wenzel in the jumping category, 8 more inches than any other competitor we've seen. These two are fast, have the vertical, and clearly are fierce competitors when it comes to receiving.
I couldn't agree more. And the determination behind these two is truly something special, as we see right now as the day unfolds. I also want to focus on Hayden Hewitt, who ended up running a 4.93 second run. I mean, this is a quarterback we're talking about here. Someone who specializes in throwing. And his fastest time actually surpasses Logan Wenzel's. If that's not a great accomplishment, I don't know what is.
I totally agree, Bob. Speaking of throwing, coming up, Combine Day continues as we begin the throwing category. More football coming your way. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The YFL is sponsored by Halen Vision Pro. See the world in a blue light. And by Burger King. Have it your way.
Hello everybody and welcome back. If you're just joining us, the athletes have just finished the agility part of today's combine and will be moving on to throwing. Now for this portion of the combine, our athletes will be pulled aside after their throwing to talk to our reporter Wally Watterson about the upcoming season. We'll have the live results from the throwers as they complete their rounds during the interview, so let's hand it over to Wally Watterson to meet our athletes.
3, 2, 1, and we're rolling.
Hello, everybody. Right now we have Keegan, one of the new football players for Yabraas footballing. Keegan, I want to ask you, what do you think will be the key to winning these games this season?
Gotcha.
Hello, we have Keegan here, one of the new Yabraas football players. Keegan, I have a question to ask you. What do you think will be the key to winning these games this season?
Very good team coordination.
And how do you plan on achieving that?
Good strategies and very good training. That is how we do this.
Very, very insightful, very insightful. Now, I want to ask you, how did you get here?
I just got drafted.
He got drafted. All right, good to hear. Hello, everybody. Right now, we have Halen, the Yabraas quarterback, coming up. Now, I want to ask you, just like everybody else, what do you think will be the key to winning these games this season?
It takes a lot of effort into these games, a lot of hard work, dedication. And as the quarterback, it takes a lot of responsibility on you, You got to make the big plays, got to make the big throws, So I think quarterbacking is going to be a huge part of our game, And I feel like if I play to the best of my ability, then we're going undefeated.
All right, how do you plan on getting better throughout the season?
Well, this combine's been a big help, Just like practicing with my teammates, dogging on these defensive losers, you know what I mean? Just like teabagging them, giving them the old lefty legend throw, you know what I mean? Just practice. That's all it takes.
Practice. All right. Now, there's a new up and coming quarterback, Joseph McGraw. What do you think that means for your position specifically?
I'll have to ride the bench because I'm the starter for life, baby. Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you,
interviewing
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Who does he think he is? Now, we have an up-and-coming quarterback, Joseph McGraw. Now, he has a lot of potential, and a lot of people are looking at him this season. So, can you tell me, what do you think will be the key element for winning games this season?
It's all about the spiral. That's all I have to say. Got to keep practicing that. And once I really get that hand motion in there, we'll be good. So,
all right. So now, Halen, we interviewed him earlier. He really thinks he's really cocky, and he thinks that he's going to beat you. So I want to ask you, what's your message to him?
I wish him the best, but he's going to have to step off the throne because this season's going to be different. So,
Ooh, there's a new king coming into town. Hello, everybody, and right now we have wide receiver Logan Wenzel. Now, Logan.
It's actually Wenzel.
I want to ask you, just like everybody else, what do you think will be the key to winning the games this season? Seem a bit emotional. Can you tell us about that? Now, I want to ask you a question. What will be the number one key element of winning these games this season?
PEDs.
All right. I want to ask you. So, we know that you and Jamison McGraw have been battling for the best wide receiver for multiple years.
No.
How do you plan on beating him?
I already have. It's kind of one-sided. Remember that time when he went to his grandma's house and he ate cookies?
Okay, here we go. And go.
Hello, I'm backup interviewer Halen Hewitt. Unfortunately, we had to sub our other interviewer out because he's taking a shit. So anyway, here we are with star Yabraas wide receiver Jamison McGraw. Now, Jamison, with the new season starting, there's going to be a lot of questions about how much you can win. What do you think is the key to winning games this season?
I think it's just hard dedication, getting out there, consistency, game after game, practice after practice, getting out there every day, training the arms, and just training the speed, just getting out there and never quitting, never giving up.
Stats from the 40-yard dash Yabraas Combine says Jamison was, in fact, the fastest runner in the 40-yard dash by a whopping 0.1 millisecond. Now, Jamison, next question. There's obviously been a lot of talk about who's going to take the number one receiver spot this year, between you and Logan Wenzel. What do you have to say to your fellow rival?
Well, it's a game. Somebody's got to win, and I think this year it's going to be me. So that's all I can say. Good.
All right. Thank you, Jamison McGraw, and enjoy the rest of your combine. We are off.
Thanks, Halen. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be in the field, but anyways, our competitors have just finished their throwing drills and will now be moving on to the final throwing event, which will be arm strength.
For this section, each player will have 2 turns to throw the football as far as possible. The exact distance will not be tracked, but the spot in which the ball landed will. Farthest will be counted as first, second farthest will be counted as second, and so on.
Starting off, we have Halen. I would expect a lot of this young man as he is the most promising quarterback in the YFL and had the best throwing stats in the first few events.
Well, looks like he's clarifying the rules right now.
2 throws each.
Okay.
Are we going me 1-2 or 1-1-1 2-2-2?
All right, he's back. Steps for the throw.
Spirals off, which isn't a usual sight for him, but that's not what counts here in this challenge. He's probably not too worried. We'll see what place that gets him.
Next up, Joseph McGraw, who's a real competitor for the star quarterback spot. He reels back and throws it. Not too high, but a pretty far shot. Just far enough to surpass Halen Hewitt, which is a promising sign for this player's future career.
Keegan here warming up. He's really got to focus after his disappointing performance in the other throwing events earlier this afternoon, as he only got a 63 out of 150, which is definitely not going to put him in a quarterback spot. He steps back. Oh, looks like we got someone on the field.
Sorry about that, folks, but we're back on it, and Keegan launches the ball in the air, and it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere.
Yep, that throw will settle him into a last place spot for now.
Up for throwing now is Jamison McGraw. He'll really have to make a play here to make up for his earlier events as well. And it looks like he throws a high ball that'll earn him a 3rd place seating. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like, yes we do. We have Logan Wenzel on the field who wants to say something about the event so far. Let's switch to that.
Now that the arm strength challenge, the YFL 2025 combine is underway, I'm looking at the yardages out here, and it's kind of pathetic. All right. as the #1 QB in the nation, coming out of Boise Technical Medical Center, I'm certain that I can at least get 5 yards. Let's have a great combine day.
All right.
Whoa.
Last thrower for round 1. Logan Wenzel steps up to the line, ready to throw a heater to the outfield. Let's see if he can keep his word or if he's all just talk. Oh, wow! A first place throw. Incredible.
That's amazing. Well, that concludes round 1 of the Arm Strength Challenge. Our athletes will now be getting a second chance at proving their true strength. But before we do that, a quick interview with Halen Hewitt to discuss the strategy of attack for the second turn.
Throw Halen, anything you changing up here?
My first throw kind of slipped a little bit, not a good spiral too high. Thinking of getting a lower, better spiral. That way it gets more speed, behind it.
All right.
I am the best QB after all. I need to show my strength,
Yep.
Sounds good. We'll see if his strategy works here. Looks like he achieves the spiral he was aiming for, but the length just not there, and the star quarterback ends up with a surprising 4th place.
Well, he's got to be disappointed in that outcome. We know we've seen a lot out of him in the other throwing events. Very unlike him to crumble under the pressure like this, but this might be a window of opportunity for Joseph McGraw, who ends in 3rd place, only a few inches behind Logan's pass throw. That's impressive.
Extremely close there, Bob.
Keegan throws farther than his last attempt, but is still unable to pass anyone, so he'll stay in last.
Logan Wenzel warms up. He looks ready for another dominant throw. He releases. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Nowhere near his last throw.
Last up is Jameson McGraw. Really hoping he can recover from his first attempt. And it looks like it's gonna pass Logan's throw. Amazing arm strength. That landed him in 1st place. A surprising turn of events.
And that will conclude all throwing events. In the arm strength category, we have Jameson in 1st, Logan in 2nd, Joseph not far behind with a tight 3rd place, Halen in 4th, and Keegan taking last. Now in the overall passing category, from the earlier trials we have Halen making up for his upset in the power challenge with the 1st place spot, Logan in 2nd, Joseph in 3rd, Jameson in 4th, and Keegan with no improvement in last place.
Great effort from all our athletes across the board. I will say, I am personally impressed of the variety of skills shown today.
It's true, Cooper. Our athletes are truly talented and ready to show everyone watching right here on the YFL. Alright, now it's time for our deep dive into the stats presented by Burger King. Here with us today is our analyst, Jonathan Bacon.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
Well, it's always good to hear from you, Jonathan. We've seen a lot of great performances here today, and I want to ask you, who do you think stands out above the others in this year's Combine so far?
I feel like everyone stood out at some point. Each person is doing good for different reasons. Logan obviously had the best long jump, Jameson was the fastest 40, and, everyone's been doing well. But I think, based off of a throwing standpoint, I think Halen's definitely the best. I think Joseph's up there. Joseph's been quite a surprise this season, finishing with the best regular throwing stats. And I think Logan's been a huge disappointment on the throwing stand because, 4th best regular passing, that is not acceptable for a guy of his caliber. So I feel like he's really got to step it up come the kicking and punting time. But I feel like Halen and Joseph and Jameson are definitely the 3 to watch right now.
All right, Jonathan, thank you very much. It's true, those 3 are huge make-or-break players that have a lot riding on their shoulders this season. And I thank you for the deeper look into the players' stats. And while you're with us, I want to ask you, who do you think has the most potential this season? Who do you think the player of the season will be?
Potential. That's a great question because I don't feel like the guy with the most potential is the best player right now. Because I feel like Halen's definitely the best quarterback, but he's a quarterback-only player. But on the other side of things, I feel like Joseph and Jameson and Logan all have more potential because they can play multiple positions. And honestly, I kind of feel like Joseph's the most potential because he can do it as both a quarterback, as he's shown in this Combine, and he's also a very capable receiver as well. I feel like if he can get that catching down and improve his throw strength and accuracy just a tad, I feel like he can become the best player.
Thanks for the input, John. It was great talking to you. Well, Cooper, Jonathan gave us his input and thoughts. So I want to ask you, who do you think the player of the season will be this season?
Well, it's great that you mentioned that. Personally, my vote goes to Logan Wenzel. I mean, the reason, just look at the stats. He's second best throwing according to today's combine. And I mean, the agility is off the charts. We saw it last season. We saw it the season before that. He is a dominant wide receiver that has just been stealing the show for multiple years now. And I mean, let's not forget that he's been the star punt kicker for years now in the YFL. And I expect nothing short of amazing for him come these kicking events coming up. He's got the throws, he's got the kicks, he's got the speed. I think we've got a season best player coming up for us this season.
All right, well, that's a great pick. I have high hopes for him too. But personally, my vote is going to the underdog in this league, Keegan Gross. Obviously, throughout the combine, Keegan's had some troubles. He's been in the last place spot in all events but one. But we've seen a lot of big plays from him last year as a receiver. He's progressed so much from the last season in the receiving category, averaging 3 touchdown catches a game. He can find the ball when he needs to. He's got a fire that the opponents can't put out. And personally, I think that we're going to see a lot of surprises from him this season.
Now that's a great opinion. I love an underdog story. Now polls from the YFL say about 50% of audience members think Jamison McGraw will be taking over the league as the player of the season this year. Now, you may have all noticed that we are sadly missing one of our athletes this afternoon. Caleb Elsoff, one of our star athletes, sadly could not attend today's combine as he had other urgent matters that he had to attend to. So, we'll be taking a short commercial break after a moment of silence for our fallen Yabraas member. We'll be right back.
Whopper, 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 Whopper.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on this beautiful afternoon for the last category of our 2025-2026 Combine Day.
Our athletes are ready to conclude this long day with the kicking portion. They'll be tested on both field goal accuracy and punt kick strength. Cooper, what can you expect to see out of this field goal challenge?
I'm expecting a lot of mixed results here. Most of our athletes have not trained for this type of event, so I think it's going to be very interesting.
It sure will. This event will be recorded differently from all other events as well. There will be 4 markers placed at the 5-yard, 10-yard, 15-yard, and 20-yard marks. The athletes will start at the first mark and aim for the middle section of the swings. If they make the field goal, they will move to the next farthest mark. The athletes get 1 extra try if they miss the kick.
As per usual, Halen Hewitt will be kicking off this event. I would expect for him to be scoring pretty high as he has a lot of kicking experience in the past.
Here we go. First kick for this event, and it looks like it's right down the middle. Great precision.
So now Halen has successfully kicked it through the red posts. He will now be moving on to the 10-yard line. This might be a bit of a challenge, but I have no doubt that he can make it work.
Well, Cooper, we're about to see as Halen lines up and kicks the ball straight through the goal once again. Now he will move back to the 15-yard mark. He will have to focus for this kick because now the mark is an exceptional distance from the goal.
Oh, and he misses it. But that's okay because he will get one more chance to correct his mistakes.
Let's see if he can extend this lead anymore. And it doesn't go through, and that will be the end of the challenge for him. His farthest kick made was 10 yards, so that will put him in first place for now as the farthest field goal.
Well, Bob, I mean, that is amazing. But let's not forget, we have 4 more exceptional athletes still ready to kick. These men have proved themselves so much in these past events. I would expect nothing less of extraordinary accuracy and strength from these upcoming attempts. Wow, they missed every single kick.
Let's stick to using those legs for running. But there's still one more athlete yet to kick, and that is Logan Wenzel. Now, if anyone is a danger to that first place spot, it's this man. He has been the star YFL kicker for years now, and we are about to see why.
Logan lines up for his first kick and absolutely nails it. That will move him on to the second marker.
He makes it look easy, unlike those last three.
Now, careful, Bob. This is where Halen got out. If Logan wants to overtake him as number 1 on the leaderboard, he'll have to make it from the 15-yard mark.
You're right, Cooper. Let's see if the YFL's best quarterback can beat its best kicker at its own game.
He launches it right through the bars.
Holy cow.
Man, that is absolutely incredible.
But that is not all, Cooper, as Logan lines up for the 4th and last marker.
Now, this is an extremely far distance to be precise on. You have to hit the ball with just enough accuracy so it doesn't change its course on the journey to the posts.
Let's go down to our cameraman to get Logan's thoughts about this distance.
Hey, Logan, this is your last try. Do you think you'll be able to make it?
No.
Good confidence.
I have faith in my kicker.
Good for you.
Thank you very much. Love the confidence. Let's see if he can do what seems to be impossible. And he makes it! Just incredible!
Oh my goodness, absolutely astonishing performance from the YFL kicker.
And that will be a YFL record that puts him in first place for this event. And in second, we have Halen Hewitt, followed by all 3 competitors who scored a total of 0.
Our athletes are now ready to end this long day with the final test, which will be punt strength. The event will be scored the exact same way as arm strength, where only the farthest attempt will be counted.
And for the last time of the day, Halen begins this challenge. Looks like he's preparing for the kick. He drops the ball. Looks like it's going high, and it lands a good distance. Great job from him. We'll see if that will give him a first place spot.
Alright, next up is Jameson McGraw, who is ready to, quote, kick this sucker into the stratosphere, as he told our team earlier. Looks like he kicks it, and pretty far, but nowhere near Halen's last kick, and that will conclude his kicking career.
Keegan is next, and he has yet to take the lead in any of these events, so let's see if he can pull out a comeback here. And it looks like he almost hits our cameraman, but it just misses him, and that is the shortest kick so far. That will be the end of his combine day, but it was great to see the effort out of this young man.
Logan is next, and this is anything like his previous kicking trials. I think we can expect to see something really special here out of him. And he punts it. A directional shot to the outside of the field, and he easily passes Halen and gives himself a well-deserved first place.
Last up to close out this combine day is Joseph McGraw, who's another one of our athletes who struggled in the kicking side of things. Let's see if he can make up for that. He released it. Wow, a nice kick, but not enough to pass Halen, but he will punt it farther than Jameson and Keegan. So that will conclude the kicking portion, with Logan keeping his first place spot, Halen staying in second, Joseph earning a third place seating, Jameson in fourth, and Keegan in last place.
Well, Bob, what a great event, and what a great combine day. It just gets me excited to see what other amazing accomplishments will happen during this 2025-2026 YFL football season.
So true, Cooper, and I couldn't agree more. Well, that wraps up today's combine. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure being with all of you this afternoon. I'm Bob.
And I'm Cooper.
And we are signing off from this year's YFL Combine Day. See you later, folks.
The YFL is sponsored by the YFL. The YFL.